guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Kamrie. Nice to meet you. Today we're just doing this real simple, easy Christmas look, and I hope you guys like it. Don't forget to subscribe, y'all. Okay, so welcome back, y'all. I'm starting off with this Vaseline mainly because I'm doing a matte look today, a matte lipstick look, and matte usually like dries out my lips, so just to have a little hydration under so it doesn't look dry and doesn't look ugly. I make sure I always do that before I put on a matte lipstick. Then I'm going in with my Olay Refresh Spray and then a combination of that and the vitamin E oil just to prep my skin before I get started. To prime my lids, I'm going in with the Makeup Revolution Cut Crease Canvas Primer. And you guys, this is a really good dupe for the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the P. Louise. The only thing about this is really liquidy. It's not as thick as the other bases, so you do have to be careful about how much you put on there so you can control how the outcome looks, if that makes sense. Being liquidy doesn't mean that it's like not good, because you kind of like save more on product because you don't have to use as much. So now we're going in with the James Charles palette. I'm just going to use the red shade and this pine dark green shade down at the bottom of the palette. And I'm just going to blend those out next to each other. But while I'm putting on my eyeshadow, I'm making sure that I'm patting down the color, then blending it out. That way I get way more pigmentation and I don't have to keep doing this 20,000 times just to get the color to where I need it to be. Whenever I am using the James Charles palette, I do make sure that I use the eyeshadow primer rather than a concealer because I want to get as much pigmentation as I can out of these shadows. So now we're going in with this dark green shade in our outer corner, and I'm going to pat this color on also, and I'm just going to blend it out. This look, you will spend a lot of time blending it out, and that's probably like the hardest part about doing this look. But I promise you, if you spend that time blending it out using, I think I use a 441 brush from Morphe, and just blend it out and just keep doing it until it seems seamless. You see no harsh lines. You're going to be so in love with the finished project. I can't really talk on this part because it's kind of self-explanatory, but I did take my Morphe 506 brush and I went over so I can get all the harsh lines out, and then I'm just blending it out with the 441 brush, just going back and forth between the two brushes until I get it as seamless as possible. So since you blended it all out, you still have to put more product back on top just to keep your pigmentation and keep your color, just to keep it like popping so it doesn't seem like washed out. You have to keep building it on and blending it out, building it on. It's real tedious, but it's going to be worth it in the end. What I forgot to say is when you are doing this, make sure you use two different clean blending brushes. So I use one for the red and I use one for the green so that you don't blend them together and it's going to be like, it's going to end up being like a brownish color. You don't want it to be that. In with my Makeup Revolution eyeshadow primer again, and I'm just putting it on the bottom of my lid first and looking up so that I can see where my cut crease needs to stop, and I'm just going to go ahead and cut the crease. And no, this is not normally how I cut my crease, but I'm actually doing it backwards because I want to take it step by step just to make sure it's even. Right now, I'm patting the product down because it is so liquidy, like I told you in the beginning, but I am not adding any setting spray on top of it. I'm just patting it down so that it's flat, and when I start putting on the eyeshadow, it doesn't like move everywhere. Now I'm just going on the outer corner with the green shade, and I'm just going to put it on a Morphe 507 brush, and I'm basically just blending out that half cut crease so it doesn't be harsh on the ends. So this part is definitely optional. I just added a little bit more red just to give it a little bit more pop. And only thing I don't like about this is on the next part I'm about to use a red liner, and it kind of blended in with this. So if you do want to skip this, you can definitely skip this part. So you also have to go back in and put the green after you do the red. So I decided to use the white from the Jaclyn Hill Armed and Gorgeous palette because, you know, this is my go-to one. This is the one I use every day. But honestly, I couldn't get the James Charles one to, like, come onto the lid, like. Now I'm going in with the ColourPop Try Me eyeliner, and honestly, you guys, this eyeliner is so pretty off of like eyeshadow. Like if you don't have eyeshadow under it, it's like so pretty. But me putting the eyeshadow on it, I learned that, I don't know, it's not really transferring really well. I don't know what it is. I might have did it wrong. I'm gonna have to give it another try, but didn't really make that much of a difference to me. We're gonna go in with this NYX white liner, and I'm just doing this to sharpen up my cut crease. So me personally, I like to put my mascara on before I put my lashes on and after I put my lashes. The reason being is because I want my lashes and my real lashes to blend together so well that you gotta ask yourself, is she wearing lashes or is she just blessed like that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I just really want my stuff to always look like it's natural and blended together, even if it's like super long. Sometimes you can't tell. So I just would recommend you doing it before and after, but you can do it however you want. Like, it works for some people to just do it at the end, which I can't do it like that. Like, I can't get the lashes to stay on there if I don't have mascara on them. When it comes to putting on your lashes, it's not really a good way or a bad way of doing it. You kind of just do it however you can do it. Like, I like to personally use my hands, but I realize that using your hands doesn't look good in the videos, but that's honestly, truthfully, how I get my lashes on. So if you got to use your hands, a tool, just whatever you do to get them on, because honestly, lashes are not my strong suit at all. Like, I struggle with this. I've been struggling with this from the beginning, but practicing has really helped me, and figuring out what works for me has also really helped me. Just make sure to wipe under your eyes after you do eyeshadow, especially if you do it before like your foundation and stuff, just to get all the remaining fallout. Going in with the ColourPop Watermelon Face Milk, and I'm just going to put this all over my skin. This just gives my skin a little added hydration. A lot of people have been asking me about the face milk since you've been seeing me use it on my Instagram videos, and honestly, you guys, this really just adds hydration to my skin. It has watermelon seed oil, bamboo milk, cucumber water, and aloe, so those all like are good for hydration basically and balancing your skin. So I do recommend these. They're really good, and they do exactly what they say. I like them. I have the coconut one. I have the watermelon one. So if you do want to try them, I would recommend you try them. I'm going in with the Hydraulic Acid ColourPop Primer. And I'm just going to put this all over my skin just to add on to the face milk. You you are priming your face and moisturizing your face, you have to take in consideration of what skin types you have. Like if you have oily skin, you can't put a lot of serums on your skin, but if you have like really dry skin, serums are good. So like knowing your skin can really help your makeup. And I always make sure I over prime and over moisturize my skin under my makeup, because it's kind of like a barrier. Like it can't get to my skin. That's how I keep my skin so clean, because like I over prime and I over moisturize. As usual, you know, I have to get my foundation and go above my eyebrow with it just to make it sharp and make sure that my foundation blends in with my eyebrows, because I don't like it to look highlighted up there. You can definitely use concealers for this part, but I found that with the foundation it looks way more natural. Foundation, we are using our Fenty Beauty in 310. You know the deal with this already. It's my go-to. I use this every day. Really good foundation. When it comes to dupes for the Real Beauty blender, I like to use this e.l.f. sponge. This sponge is really soft. Like it's way better than the Real Techniques one. It's like super soft. Like it's kind of the same exact thing as Beauty Blender. With the Fenty Beauty, it is medium to full coverage, so I always make sure I put 2 layers on if I'm really doing a look. Like this Christmas look is kind of a dramatic look for me, but like a normal day I only do 1 layer because I just want to look sheer on my skin. But if you're doing it for like a dramatic look, you probably will have to build it on twice. So you let it dry down a little bit, then you put a little bit more on. Going in with my Fenty Beauty concealer in 310, and I'm putting this under my eyes, and I'm gonna let it sit there for a minute just to build some more coverage up. Anytime you like blend it out right when you put it on, you're not gonna get as much coverage as you would if you just let it sit there and like get into your skin. But don't leave it on too long. I would say like 1 to 2 minutes is enough time. There is no wrong way of contouring and concealing. It's kind of whichever way works for you. So for me, I like to go under my eyes because I have really bad bags. I like to go down bridge of my nose so that it shines when I start contouring it. I like to do on my forehead. I don't do that much on my forehead because my forehead is just like weird. It's not like big, it's not small, it's just a weird shape. And I also make sure I always go on my jawline and down my the side of my faces just to slim them down a little bit. So I have started doing this with my lips just to make my top lip look a little bit bigger when I go to like line it and put the lip gloss on, because my top lip is smaller than my bottom lip, but you would never know because I do this little trick right here. I just find it kind of crazy that people say they don't contour. Like, this is my favorite part of makeup, if you cannot tell. Like, I love this look right now because this just tells me that everything is about to come together and it's about to be flawless. Like, I'm taking this Real Techniques brush, and it's the 200 brush, and I'm just going ahead and blending out my contour. I let my concealer sit on my face a little bit longer so that it builds the coverage. Told you about this in the last video. If you haven't checked that out, go check that out right now. I don't know what you're missing. I'm going to link it below. But anyways, I do this just to blend out my contour, and then I start blending the concealer into the contour. And it's a whole process. I'll explain this in detail one day, I promise. Whenever you are using any type of beauty blender products, any sponges or anything, make sure that you pat everything into your skin. Do not swipe it because it will take off all your product, like, and you'll be pissed off and you're like, what's gonna happen? Just don't do it. Pat, pat, pat. When I'm blending out my nose contour, I do typically like to use a smaller brush or a different brush, but for some reason, every time it's time to film, I can't find anything. So guys, if you have a smaller brush, it would be way more precise and cleaner if you use a smaller brush on this step. I go back and blend everything together with a beauty blender because it still has leftover product on it. Don't add any more product to it, but I just go blend everything together so it doesn't look like you did everything separately. have really bad creases under your eyes, which I do, make sure you just try to pat your concealer in as much as you possibly can. And then when you go in with the setting powder, pat the setting powder into your creases. That's the only way, because if you have really bad creases, it's going to crease regardless. But the best thing you can do is try to control it. Now I'm just basically cleaning up so I can see where I need to put my bronzer. And I'm going to pat this into my under eyes. I'm not going to let it sit there. I'm actually patting it in with the product that's left on my beauty blender, so that when I go to like brush it off, it's not too much on there, and I'm not really baking it because I don't want it to dry out. And a little bit more setting powder, I'm just going to clean up the sides of my nose so that it's going to be a sharp contour. I'm going in with my bronzer. This is the Hoola bronzer from Benefit in Caramel. And I'm just going to put this everywhere I contour, basically, just to add a little bit more color back to my skin. Now I'm going in with the Anastasia Beverly Hills blush, and I actually go with all three of them and just swipe it across, take off the excess powder, and then I just brush it onto my cheeks. And I make sure I smile a little bit so it can get on the high points of my cheekbones. And now this is the Morphe under eye bullet brush, and I'm just taking off all the powder that I applied. And this is the only brush that I use to do this because it really gets every bit of the powder off of my face. I'm just putting a little bit of bronzer down my nose just to sharpen up the contour because it did go away a little bit with the powder. And I'm going to clean it up again with some more banana powder. Eyeliner on your waterline, always make sure eyeshadow or your eyes pop out a little bit more. I do recommend, if you're using this jumbo stick from NYX, that you get a brush and apply it with that, because as you can see, as I'm trying to put it on right now, it's still like going down under where it needs to be. It's not on the waterline, it's under the waterline too. So that's just a little fact for that. So now I'm just going to take that same green shade and I'm going to put it under my waterline, and I'm also going to add a little bit of glitter on there just to make it pop a little bit in the pictures. This glitter is from Chrissy Cindy's Cosmetics on Instagram. Her pigments are really cheap and they're really good, and it comes with a lot of them. Like I haven't reordered them yet, which I just dropped this pigment after I made this video, so I will have to, but they're really good. I'm gonna apply this mascara on the bottom of my lower lashes because they're really long and I like to showcase that. And I'm also gonna blend together the lashes and my real lashes just to make sure that they're actually blended. Taking the Morphe setting mist and I'm just spraying all over my face. This is one of the best setting sprays I have ever tried. It's really good and you make your makeup stay all day. Highlighter is called Glazed Donuts. It's from Ofra. It's a collab with nikkitutorials. Really good. When I'm applying this highlighter, I like to put it under my eyebrow bone, down my nose, on the points of my nose, and then on my cheekbones. And I like to smile a little bit so I can get the high points of my cheeks, so that when the light hits it, it's flawless, sis. I'm literally only using this red lipstick for the holidays, so if you are using it, make sure that you line your lips before you put the lipstick on. I cannot stress this enough. It's not going to look right, and it's going to be all over the place. Make sure you line it so that you have an outline of where you want to put the stunner lip before you put it on. Though we just lined our lips, I'm still going to line it with the stunner shade too before I fill it in. And the slower you go on this step, the better it's going to come out. No, it's crazy how good you could do stuff for videos, because I've been trying to apply this lipstick to my lips for 2 years. Like, I've had it for 2 Christmases now, and I have not worn it yet because I couldn't figure out how to do it right. But something just told me, like, get a red liner and just go really slow, and it's gonna come out perfect. That is it for this video, guys. Thank you for staying to the end. Make sure you subscribe. Stop right now, subscribe, go follow me on Instagram, and comment below, and I'll see y'all in the next video.